Oi, what up, brothers and sisters? Welcome back to Articulate with Steve. Oh, God. Welcome back to Articulate with Steve McJones. This is Steve McJones talking to you right now. What's up, guys? This is a pretty entertaining episode we got on for you. We brought Stephen Barrett, the man, back for you because I was not finished talking to him, and we're good friends, so I wanted to have him back on. And he really dives into the fashion industry on this episode, which I thought was very intriguing. It was very intriguing to me, and he's very knowledgeable on the subject. So I wanted to, at the beginning of the episode, I kind of talk about what I was interested in leaning towards, and this followed suit in kind of going into depth on the fashion industry. So if you're interested in that and kind of want to learn a little bit about the world of clothing and a little bit about just business in general and brands and how to get started and maybe how to, Stephen is trying right now to find out what he's going to be doing after college, and he has to find internships and companies he wants to work for and stuff like that. So he goes really into detail on that. I did want to drop this episode this week and want to let you guys know that he is having a seasonal drop December 9th, which he mentions in the episodes and plugs, which I definitely think you guys should check out. They do sell out really quickly, and they have a sweet style, so plugging that real quick. Talking about leads for him, but leads for me, I don't want to get you guys excited or anything, but I've been talking to this lady that comes into my bar every once in a while, and she says she has her own podcast, and she has an extra microphone or two. So quality and production value might be increasing here in just a little bit. I don't know. It's exciting. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Barrett. Welcome back. We are here with Stephen Barrett. Back again. This is the first time I've had a similar guest for the second time.
Wait, really?
Yeah, and I say similar because you're not the same person you were when you first came on.
You're not wrong.
But yeah, we were just talking about the last episode that I recorded here, and Stephen asked the question, how do you gauge how you're doing? Was that what it was?
I just asked how you gauged how well you were doing.
Okay, yeah. With episodes. And that's what, I really liked the last episode because the guy that came on, Logan Marshall, is, first of all, we have just a good chemistry in general, and I think that makes for a good, just a good conversation and listenable things that are entertaining and kind of fun, fun back and forth.
Yeah.
And but he was also very, very knowledgeable in season the honors film program, and he was so informative, and he taught me so many things, and that's kind of a direction that I'm interested in heading. So, I don't know. So, it just depends on what you want to get out of the episode. For, sometimes I do, stupid skits, and, for those episodes, I try not to gauge myself on it.
Just kind of let it fly.
Just let it fly, because those ones are mostly just for fun, But the informative ones, like the last one, or movie ones, then you really can tell by how much information that sticks with you after you listen to it. So when I go back and re-listen to the podcast to edit out the stuff and post it, then I'm I'm usually, when I record it, usually in a pretty sober state of mind, and then when I go back and listen to it high.
So you edit it when you're high.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh yeah, this is a good one. So I try not to judge myself too much on that.
Okay.
How do you gauge yourself with your art?
How well we're doing? With my art, I don't know, dude, because I guess that's a really good question, because I just finished a portrait I was working on today that I was sending, and I don't know if... So I was working on it and was having a really hard time deciding whether or not I liked it and whether or not I thought it was done, or I kept saying impressive enough. Because and I don't know if that's, I guess the impressiveness was because
done versus impressive is very two different.
Well, because I was sending it to part of my desperate attempt to get a job after school. I just sent, so there's a brand that I found one of the creators that he does most of the graphics. I found his email. Actually, I didn't find it. It's on his Instagram.
Nice.
But I emailed him.
That's hard
like
research.
a letter. Not a letter, but an email. But I sent him my cover letter.
Okay.
But like a letter.
Real quick, I just listened to this comedian, and he was like, texting and driving immediately ruled out as illegal. You know what's not illegal? Longhand letter writing and driving.
It's not. You
Daniel
can do
Tosh.
it.
Yeah, so you should. So you wrote this while you were driving, right? You wrote this message to this fashion designer while you were driving. Good to know.
Yes, I was driving. Right. Yes. And I just like was basically saying like why, what I believe and how it kind of like mirrors, because I've done like looked up information about the brand like I've read all their interviews, and I felt like. Behold some of the like same philosophies. So I was basically begging for a job, but also saying like how I thought I would fit in and why, like I think I would be beneficial, like why it would be beneficial for the company.
Right. So this portrait that you were.
But I also just sent a portrait of the founders because I was like I'm also brown nosing.
Yeah. I mean you have to up to some degree. I mean because you're not gonna hire somebody that seems like they're not wanting to do any of the creative ideas that they have. You know, you like brown nosing in a sense is kind of just showing how like the common interests in like that you look up to them.
Yeah, it's like yes, I think that's There's the difference between brown nosing and just like kissing ass.
right, exactly. So how did you even? Yeah, well, I mean, with one. You know, you get a whole brown nose. You know, that's
true.
You get something out of it as well.
Right. Although
with kissing ass, you are kissing their ass. You know.
Yeah, but brown nosing.
I mean,
does that originate from like kissing ass, which means you get shit on your nose? Is that what it comes from?
I think so, but I was trying not to look at it from that respect.
I think that's what it is. I've never looked it up.
Yeah,
this is important information.
Important information. Yeah, Jamie, look that up. That's Joe Rogan's like research guy in the background.
That's something you need. Someone like we could look it up, but it would
take it. You know, it withdraw from the conversation. It's really not even important to what
it's not.
So how do you gauge that portrait that you were making?
I just decided that if I got to a point where I then because I really didn't like it, and then I came up with two versions, and I was like, okay, both of these are satisfying.
Okay.
To like. What was the first time I felt satisfied with it? And then my deadline to send all this out is Friday. It's just like a personal deadline.
Good.
And it's been making me like stressed out. So I just emailed it today.
Oh, you just
so I just decided.
Yeah.
And
you're gonna regret it
sometimes,
within like the hour.
Yeah, and I think sometimes I over edit, and then it becomes worse. So. No,
that's fair because it's like Well, I mean, it's like any piece of art that you work on. You know, if you have a song that you think is finished and you're a good artist, this is what good artists should do: is be kind of very nitpicky with their work because you do want to create the best thing you can create. But at some point, it's helpful to have like an outside. This is what I was gonna kind of bring it back to gauge how well the art is, if it's finished, that sort of thing. It's like an outside source, an outside perspective, and that's what being famous is really great for because you have so many people critiquing you all the time.
Yeah, I think at a certain point you probably have to. At least I hear a lot of people say, and I don't know if they just say this because it's a buzz thing to say, but like you have to stop reading the hate mail at some point.
Oh yeah, well yeah. At some point it becomes. Or that's what I'm saying.
In my opinion, you don't read it at all.
Really? Not well.
Well, because I don't. I mean, okay, you read it. Okay, fine, you read it, but it depends on how you interpret it.
No, I'm with you on like not reading it. Like I see that perspective really well, and like I would like to get to a point where you don't read the hate mail, but I think that is the point where you are at the level you want to be with what you're doing. You know, because before that you want to take in like the critiquing, and I mean
no. So I wasn't saying I didn't explain it. So yeah, okay. I think you should take criticism. And you need to think about it, but at the end of the day, it's what you do with it.
Right.
So I think you can take criticism and let it hurt you, or you can take it and make it constructive.
Would you mind saying that louder?
Sorry.
It's alright.
You should take, like, you can take criticism and make it hurt you, or you can take criticism and, like, make it construct you, or use it
Okay.
to
Yeah.
your advantage.
Right.
That's what
yeah.
I was originally trying to say, but I am basically fried because I haven't smoked in 8 days.
Really? Tonight was the night.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask you about. So, what is the exact reason you decided to take a tea break? Because I know you're a big, big roller, dude. Like, just constantly rolling on the south.
Yeah. And, I mean, I enjoy it. But, like, right now, I need a clear head.
Mm-hmm.
So I think...
What about now? Makes you say
the
makes
fact
you say
that I'm graduating in the spring. I need a job. I technically need another internship to get my diploma.
Another internship?
Yeah. We don't have to talk about it.
No, it's alright.
But
I think people are interested.
I'm
interested.
Oh, so I had an internship over the summer. Well, you have to have 2 internships, basically.
Okay.
You do a
For
work
which
experience.
major is this again?
Wow. Retail fashion product development, but just found out this week, but this is old news. But I don't pay attention to these things because I don't care about college.
Right.
But,
you shouldn't care about that.
That on my diploma it will say Human and Consumer Sciences.
Human and Consumer Sciences.
Yes.
Why? Because
they changed it.
Oh,
because it's a shitty major, and they know that it's a horrible fashion degree.
Yeah, but that takes like the fashion part out of the thing that you were going for, and that's what you're doing.
I'm mad.
Too.
So on my resume it says retail fashion product development, which in itself I feel embarrassed even saying because I feel like in the fashion community they hear that and they're like, what? That's like 4 different things.
Yeah.
There's fashion, retail can be totally separate from fashion, and then product development can mean anything. Like
Would you
developing.
Mind expanding on that?
Yeah, like developing that clock right there. That is product development.
Right.
I mean, you could even say like creating a brand is technically a product. That is product development.
Yeah.
So how can you condense fashion, retail, and product development into one major that you get in 4 years?
Yeah.
You can't. With shitty ass professors.
That's
I hope none of them. I mean, they should listen.
They should listen because they should know to do a better job.
To this?
Donnie? Not yet.
I love that.
We'll see. I'll get him, dude. I really want to get. I mean, that's a different story. But so.
Right. I love hearing about it.
Yeah. But I think with that, I mean, that's almost like saying math, science, reading major.
Yeah. I mean, dude, in a sense, yes.
Yes, in a sense.
I would argue that.
Okay, but so with that internship, still, RFPD, whatever, you need 2 internships.
I need 2 internships
within that major.
Yeah. I did one over the summer with Express because you have to do a work experience, which should be within fashion. I think most, and I don't know this because I don't look at other fashion schools because I think partially because I'm mad I'm not at one. But I'm sure most kids, at least that I know of, most of them do a ton of. You just do fashion internships, and it's much easier because most schools have good programs or good professors who can get you those internships really easy.
Yeah, I mean because it's a really, I'd say the community, the people that I'd say are in that major and in that line of work and industry, they all know what it's like.
How it operates. Mm-hmm. And our professors here, the majority of them haven't worked in the industry, which is just a red flag in general. But why I'm talking about this is, so you have to have this work experience. It should be within fashion, and it's kind of meant to. Mm-hmm. But I know of a ton of people, myself included, that did it on something that is completely not. I did it for my job right now, at OU.
Oh,
which is
really?
I work for Outdoor Pursuits. I lead backpacking trips. I run the climbing wall, and I'm now the marketing supervisor, which kind of plays a role.
Okay. But that's
because you could, marketing just in general,
right?
You could apply it to fashion.
So that retail fashion.
That's
the development.
It's all based. So the teachers bend it by saying it's customer service.
That's interesting.
But anyways, I did an internship over the summer. Supposed to take a class at the same time. I didn't know that.
Oh.
I was under the impression I could take it after and just apply everything, which honestly probably would have helped me retain everything better.
Oh, 100%.
But the professor was like, "No, you have to do it right now because I have to audit you while you're doing it."
Damn.
Which is just like stupid.
Yeah. But, what does that even mean? Audit you? They just have to like see that you're actually learning.
I don't know. Like I had to write journals technically every day. I did 3 a week. Just like about like my job at OU or OP.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
just fine. I mean, it really was not a hard class. I think I'm just pissed because I wish I could have applied what I learned over the summer. It fit all the requirements. So you got me venting on here.
Yeah, no, that's all right, man. I mean, so that's interesting. So like, where, I mean, so now are you basically just kind of reaching out to, like anywhere?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So I mean, I'm applying for internships, but then I don't know. In my mind, I should be doing this because there has to be so many kids out there that are interested in fashion.
Exactly.
Probably starting their own brand, and they're trying to like, I guess there's some of them like solely like just want to do their own brand and like think that that's gonna take them there.
Well, I think
which I don't think that.
yeah.
But I'm just reaching out
and
trying to directly get to people.
Yeah, real quick, what I want to say, what's different about you is that like you have a partner in it, I think, and you have a website, right?
Yeah, but I think
and you have drops
and it seems so easy to me.
But I think you stay really, really in touch with the people that follow you, and I think that's what's important. That a lot of people, I think you're giving you're being a little tough on yourself. I think you are very good at like. Didn't you just get a music group to like wear one of your shirts while they were performing somewhere?
Yeah. Sorry.
No,
yeah. We sent a shirt to a man.
To a dude.
Yeah, no, his name's Squeak. I know that's not his real name. I'm kidding, his real name off the top of my
Squeak
head.
McJones.
No, but he's a producer for a rap group that my brother and I like a lot. So we just like sent him a shirt because that's kind of like a phase that we're gonna try to start doing just to like get the idea out there and get Creamy's name out there.
Yeah, dude, that's exciting.
But he did wear it on the first night of his tour, it was tagged. Well, it wasn't tagged. I wish it was tagged.
Yeah.
But he was wearing it, and I was just like scrolling through my Instagram feed.
And that's enough, man. I mean, that got me to share it, just like seeing that and being excited for you, you know?
Yeah, it was dope. And they have good music.
And they have really... What's their name? What's the group's name?
Pivot Gang.
Pivot Gang?
Yeah.
What kind of music is it?
It's hip-hop.
Hip-hop. Is there like 5
It's a
guys?
rap group.
A rap group?
It's like 6. I think it's 6.
That was the longest
That was such
pause.
a long pause. I really had to think. I'm fried.
No. You're good. It's 6.
I'll look right.
That's funny. But dude, yeah, I'm excited for you. You know, and that where were you gonna go with that? You were talking about kind of within you're sending out your resume to just whoever.
Oh,
your portfolio.
I mean not just to whoever. Like brands that I truly think that I would like excel like working there.
Mm-hmm. How diverse is the retail industry in like other like other subgroups within
retail?
Yeah. And like fashion, because you're saying the ones that you identify with.
Yeah.
Versus like, are there ones that are just more like popular and well known, like really big names?
I mean, I would say there's like a brand, at least unless you get to the point where you're like, I don't know, for brands like Forever 21 or like really big brands, or even like
American Eagle.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't identify with that, and I don't even know. Like, I think they have a much broader target audience. I don't know.
Okay.
Or their description of the person is so incredibly broad that it just encompasses tons of people. Whereas then there's other brands that are much smaller and have more like specific influences or whatever, or what they stand for, targets like a more niche group of people, and then that niche has different sizes.
Right. Oh, really? So I was going to say, so, and then is there like everything in between? And
then there's everything in between.
Where they're like coming down to. So so it's not like really a hierarchy, you know? Because with a hierarchy.
I mean, there's probably hierarchy. Hierarchy. Hierarchy.
Hierarchy.
A hierarchy. That's funny because I'm really bad at pronouncing words, but that's one like
You just nail.
Always nail.
You just got her down.
Unless I'm probably real fat, I'll be like her.
It's because you're.
That's how I think about it in my head, though. When I'm spelling it, it's like her. Okay.
Her.
Hierarchy.
Hierarchy. Yeah, exactly. Then a hierarchy just makes me picture something really good. Something really.
I don't want to see.
All right. That's fine. I'll keep my image into my own brain, but.
I mean, you can explain it.
Yeah. So I mean, within Hollywood, there's like A-list, B-list, C-list kind of thing?
Yeah, okay, so yes, in that sense, yes. There's, I'm going to botch this because it's French. Haute couture. And there's fucking the high-end brands.
Yeah, what's it called?
Haute couture.
Haute couture.
I need to look at it to like, pronounce it.
It's French?
Haute couture. Yeah, it's French.
We have rats in our kitchen.
They'd be really mad at us right now.
Why? For not pronouncing it well, or for doing
just being American,
stereotyping that they have rats in their kitchen? Well, that's fair. That's fair.
Ratatouille. Yeah. I mean, it is based on facts. So.
Yeah, true. I just listened to this comedian that was like, he was like, Americans, everywhere in the world we have fat people, right? Mm-hmm. But like Americans do it so fucking well.
We do. We really do. And it's, I think it's just part of like, consumerism in America is a religion. 100%. Like it is a way of life.
Yeah, it's kind of messed up, dude. It's like that we are like I talked to this dude from a different country at the bar, and he was telling me how he like in all the countries he's visited, like car commercials, football commercials, insurance commercials are like all you see on the TV, like in here all the time, and they're always pushed on the biggest channels as well, like Coca-Cola, McDonald's, like Burger King. Mm-hmm. I mean, they have food over there that they promote, and they have, but I think a lot more of it's local.
Local.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And, and so, I mean, basically, fuck America. I actually just talked to my barber. This is another tangent. We'll come back to the original one real quick. But I just talked to my barber, and, like, he is, like, an adult man who has it's his own barber business, and he loves doing it, and he has a family. And he is, like, probably, like, 30 to 45 years old, and I'm really bad at guess. 30 to 45 years old.
I mean, but some people between their mid-30s and mid-40s probably don't change, like, if they're...
Yeah, it's a very stagnant
I get what
age.
you're saying.
But he is very seriously considered... No, like, he plans within the next 5 years to move to Canada. Just to, like, get out of America.
Yeah, dude, that's why... Yeah, I would do that. I applied for an internship in London. I didn't get it.
Oh, sad story. Oh, so that's what we were coming back to, is the internship. So that the horrible, the blable...
Hakator.
That sounds like hawking a loogie, dude.
I mean, that's like your high-end fashion brands, and then it branches down from there. Mm-hmm. But then you also have, like, you have different types of clothing that interest different types of people. Like, you have outdoor wear.
Right, like,
and then
what's
there's
the big
casual outdoor wear, and then there's, like, there's Patagonia, which in my opinion is, like, the ultimate form.
Mm-hmm. That's where you want to end up? Question mark?
I'd love to work there. I applied for 2 jobs. I got an email, and they said based on the amount of applicants, like, they get, sometimes they just, like, can't reply to everyone.
Damn.
Which is crazy.
Well, yeah, and they're still, like...
which is, I mean, they probably hire a lot from within. Actually, I know they do.
You gotta have an in. Yeah, that's like A-listers there, dude. You gotta work your way up there.
Yeah, but then you have, like, smaller streetwear brands that, or small. When I say smaller streetwear brands, like, I'm just saying things that, like, aren't Supreme or, like, Off-White. That like, I mean, people work there.
People work there, but
I'm
it's
trying
just
to
like
be
smaller.
one of them.
Yeah.
It's just not as big, and it's probably just like it's a more niche. And I think there's also like the market is so saturated, and there's just like fashion is something people are always interested in. That there's just so much. There's so many brands.
Yeah, man, and this is, I'm gonna go back to like praising you because I really like. I mean, like I'm your friend, and I really like, I'm not trying to be like a weird friend, but like as like a company that has a brand and like a picture, an image, and kind of where they're going.
Yeah,
man.
what do you think the image is,
dude? So
because
this is outside.
I have
you
to
want
portray that, and sometimes I don't know how to.
You want my outside perspective on it, so you can gauge your levels of
my gauge.
Yes,
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, to bring it back, that's I do.
So
ask other people.
I really like it, man. Like and I tend to put faith in a lot of things that probably aren't going to. So like my judgment, I'm not saying that yours isn't, but like my judgment, I say, I believe in a lot of small artists that I really like just because I think they're so good, and like, every single person has their idea of what the broad view is, like the stuff that sells, right?
Yeah.
So for me, I look at comparing it to other clothes that I see that are bigger and that I know. I think yours fits in very well in the market that I see becoming popular. Like
I'm hoping.
Yeah, man. Like the skating lifestyle is coming back a little bit, and a little bit more mainstream. There's more of I think it's kind of coming with the indie explosion that we're experiencing.
Yeah, I think. Dude, I would say skate culture's always been there. I think it's just like. And it's been widely accepted. That maybe it's just like becoming even more widely accepted.
Yeah, well, so it's always been there, but I think there's always been kind of a negative view towards it. Like from the outside, I know a lot of, especially growing up in white suburban Lebanon,
I didn't grow up skate culture.
Yeah,
like that, my parents would not have liked that.
Right, yeah. No, exactly. Not
I
at all.
I don't know how to skateboard. I know.
No. Yeah, no. And skateboard is I'm just like kind of stereotyping with that. But I'm talking about like the indie explosion kind of, and I think again that's becoming. We talked about this last time actually that you were on here. How as we move as a society, we're becoming more casual.
Yes.
Right. So
True.
So I think within that casuality. I don't know if that's the right word or not.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Within that casuality, I think the market, the skating culture, indie culture, as we've been referring to it, has kind of more chance to grow and flourish. So I think your brand, it reaches that audience to those people who are, kind of exploring their style and leaning towards something that's more... that's more, less black and white checkered kind of.
Yeah. I mean, yes, I agree. Because I think, for me, I eventually, we'll have, core, just, regular products, like T-shirts and whatnot. But eventually, I'm trying to design... Wow, I don't know, I paused there. I'm trying to design clothing that is, statement pieces. I think, and this is hard saying this because I also know, it contradicts, the main part of the brand, which is, being, conscientious and, we can't be sustainable, but trying to be.
You guys upcycle, right?
And, upcycling all the clothing. But the clothing is going to be, I want it to be made for, artists, musicians.
Right.
But also...
the ones you sent it to.
Yeah. And, music festivals for people to wear shit there, even though those are really bad for the environment. So, that's a whole other conversation.
There's only so much you can control.
Right. But, eventually if we could do something, that'd be dope. But, yeah, statement pieces. So, hopefully...
Yeah, well, that you gotta build...
Come to us when they're trying to branch out.
Right. And you can't be making statements, immediately, right off the bat, because nobody's gonna take you seriously, Nobody's gonna...
I did.
What was your first...
Right, though.
What do you mean? What first few pieces?
Oh, no. I just meant like...
In general?
Yeah, like
I
felt like in middle school,
mm-hmm.
I started caring about how I dressed before other people did. And that was different.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. I don't know if that was true.
No, I mean, I didn't.
What were you saying though?
I didn't give a shit about what I dressed as, but no, that's interesting because that means you started paying attention to it earlier, which is a good rule to say if you want to go into your dream job, start doing something within that dream job, paying attention to it, reading about it, looking it up online.
Yeah,
whatever.
do it because I didn't.
Because
like,
the more hours you have in it,
yes, you should just.
Yeah. Which is why, I feel bad for a lot of people in college that don't realize what they want to do yet because they can't get a start. They can't, I feel bad for them. But that's a whole different thing.
It is.
But what I was going to say about your brand is that right now, to me at least, I'm a guy, I wear like polos and khakis and kind of basic plain t-shirts and stuff. But I see your brand and it's still, while it is kind of a statement and kind of, out there a little bit, I still feel drawn to it. I feel
because that's what it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be to the point. Like I'm not trying to turn people off. I could easily do that. Right. Sometimes I do too much. I go excessive.
Over edit.
I over edit. I do. And that's something you have to learn how to do. And I'm still learning how to do it.
Yeah, I mean it's just that's you're always that's just mastering your craft at that point. I feel like. But yeah, man, I just feel like it seems right now kind of fun, which you're in college, so that's kind of representing where you're at in life anyways, kind of. But it still seems very, like I said, you're really good at keeping up on the marketing. Like you have, you always have on the Creamy Studios page, you have a lot of likes. I see people commenting it. You got professional, and you also have professional shoots going on, scheduled, and there's really well edited videos that promote everything that you do as well.
Yeah. That's just because I have a lot of help, and
But that's good, man. So differentiating yourself from other, how you said every other kid wants to start doing that within your program, but those kids, I feel kind of.
There's not a lot of people doing this within.
Yeah, exactly.
Within OU's program, in general, in life, a lot of kids just in fashion. Probably, there's a ton of them doing it.
Right.
In OU specifically, I know the people that are doing it. Well, actually, I don't. I think there's another brand. I don't even know what it's called, but I saw someone post something.
I've seen a couple of other ones, yeah.
But I know, Ethan's brand, Ramble.
They're not as good as yours, though, bro.
I'm not going to say that. But
I actually was comparing.
There's Devin's brand. I don't know what he did Dress Augury. I don't know what he's doing with that right now.
Do you get a little competitive at all?
Am I competitive? Mm-hmm. Yes and no. Yes. In sports, I wasn't. I had trouble being competitive in sports.
You do that sometimes where you're kind of very indecisive for 2 seconds. And then you go, yes! You come back.
I'm competitive in a way, but I also...
See, now you're back to...
But I'm also not... I'm not competitive. I will not get competitive over, a game of flag football. I would never get competitive over
But within your industry, though.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's something, I guess, that I'm, I feel invested in. Mm-hmm. So there's emotion tied to it.
Yeah, exactly. So this is what my question is, going into, I'm going to be meeting a shit ton of other people who have podcasts or, are trying to do videos or write or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's that you have that competition there, but you can't, you can't be a dick to them, you can't...
No, you gotta be friendly, because you never know, who you're gonna need help with, or who you're gonna need help from in the future. Yeah. Mm-hmm. At least that's my opinion. So you can have your own, internal,
competitiveness, and know that they probably do as well.
And know that they do, too, and that's healthy if, at the same time, you're being friendly to each other and trying to help each other get better.
Right. Yeah, man. I think, so, just real quick, how did you start, Creamy, by the way? Just kind of, out of curiosity.
Yeah, I started it by, I mean, the idea of it, I was at home, a semester off, just like needed a break from college, and I was going to do, and I did, an Outward Bound trip. It was like a 50-day. I was like outside. It was leadership training based. But I was also really going on it for like some soul searching. But I was also getting a certification that I needed for like work here. Right. But I didn't have money for it. And so this is like such a talking point now.
No, we talked about it a little bit.
Did we? Okay, I don't want to repeat myself.
No,
Anyways,
no, it's all right. So you went on this thing, but you got the idea while you were out there.
No, I got the idea of it because I needed money for it. So I started selling T-shirts, and I got the idea. And I also before then, I just like suddenly, and I was talking with my friend Ramsey, and I was just venting about how like I felt like I wasn't doing anything, and that like people I could see. Literally, just because social media is so prevalent, you can see people just going out there and getting it or trying to get it.
Yeah.
And trying to make a name for themselves.
Yeah.
And I'd always had that, like...
feeling that you weren't doing
or that I wasn't doing that, and that I easily could.
Man.
And so we were just talking about it, and I was like, it'd be really easy to start a brand. I was like... And we started talking about, like, clothing specifically, because we both, like we're into fashion, and like this sounds pretentious, like people always commented us on like what we were wearing,
right?
And I was like, that right there is like that's innate, like that's something.
I don't
because this is something other people I guess not. But like I have other people that are like pointing this out, maybe I should look into this,
right?
And then I got so I was like, all right, how hard is it to make some T-shirts?
Yeah, and so did you have to, like, how much money did you drop on that first? Did you have to, like, buy a bunch of T-shirts and then, like, dye them?
No, so, like, you can buy blank T-shirts, or you can, like, make artwork on an Adobe software and, like, send it to someone and, like, get shirts printed for you. Like, if you have money, you can do stuff like that really easy.
Right. But you were doing this for money.
I was doing this for money. So I was like, how do I get shirts? Yeah. And I was like, I could just buy them at the thrift store.
Oh,
and so that's like where that idea came
and then the upcycling. So you're not even doing it because you love the world. You're doing it.
That's right. It originally started because I was poor. But it also worked out because I like the environment.
It's just a secondhand kind of win.
That took forever for me to get there.
No, that's all right.
That's what it is.
That's awesome. So where do you plan to go with it? So do you plan to end up, if you're working for another company, are you going to be able to maintain your
yes. Yeah, I wouldn't work for a company that would say, like, you can't work on this.
On the side.
I'd be like, okay, you can't choose what I do in my free time. Like, it directly isn't going to affect you unless you wanted to do something together. Like,
yeah. Or do you think people would be super collaborative like that?
I have no idea. I think some people probably are. Just in the way that, I mean, I am.
Yeah.
Like, I like to just work with other people. I think it's beneficial. I would want it to be. I would want it to be like something that like we put work into. Like, I wouldn't want to do all the work.
Right. Well, talking about like also gauging levels of quality. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
That's
gauging. A line, right?
That was a line. Oh yeah, 100%. Sorry. But talk about gauging quality. It's easy to work. When you're working with somebody, it's easy to kind of bounce ideas back off of them and get that immediate kind of gratification of like, oh, this is a good idea, this is a bad idea.
Yeah, yes.
And that's what, working within a writing group for me would be like
oh, I'm sure.
It'd be so much easier.
I wanted to do creative writing for like a half a year.
Really?
Actually longer than that. Up until I decided to do fashion, like I wanted to be like an author. Because I was going to be an English teacher. And before I started doing streetwear, I was like, I'm going to fucking write. Oh, yeah, dude, I had a blog.
What? Starting brands before even you knew what it was? That's awesome.
And I would write, like, some essays, and I, like, tried to make them, like when you read them, like, you might get mad. That's what I wanted.
Right.
And it was also me, like, I also talking through, like, things I was thinking about at the time. So, like, I probably would go back and read them now and be like, okay, well, this is resolved. But, yeah, and I liked writing, like, short stories. I still do. I don't do it.
Yeah, you should.
Right now.
It's fun.
But it's something I've always
You still doing the morning pages?
No.
Yeah,
I really, it's hard.
It is really.
I'm really trying to do it over winter break. I'm gonna be in Athens.
It's so much better when you don't have
nothing.
School. Yeah. You're gonna be in Athens too?
Yeah, are you gonna be here?
Oh hell yeah,
dude, yeah. Well, not for like after the 21st ish.
Yeah, I'm leaving the week before Christmas, and
okay.
then I won't be back until a week after Christmas.
I'll be here that whole like up until school starts.
Cool.
Like even
before,
yeah,
that's gonna be the longest.
Before January. Like before New Year's. Why couldn't I do New Year's? Yeah, that's gonna be the longest.
But I'm looking. I'm one of the type of people talk about, you know, kind of working on yourself and doing those morning pages. With that break, I will. You know, I recently got a new book. I'm gonna start kind of like writing, taking the time to write more. Working more and like kind of getting that creative path flowing a little bit.
Exactly. And so to tie back to you in the beginning, what we were talking about, that's why I'm trying to smoke less right now.
Right.
Because
that's what I was kind of like
I need to focus on.
Guiding you towards.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was kind of like that's it.
Dude, that's why.
That's what I had to do for the podcast, man. And for like in writing scripts, so, like, I had to stop for a while.
Just because I need to think through some like critical things. Like we've never really focused business wise on the brand in the sense of like finances, and also I think we need to get to the level where we're thinking specifically like messages that we're trying to convey, at least with some jobs. Right. Besides just like us experimenting with what we think we can sell. And I just need a clear head for thinking about that stuff.
Yeah, of course, man. Yeah, that's what it's great for. That's what, like, I mean, especially you and I have talked about like the lows a little bit. It's like when you are in a low and you need to be in that creative mindset, you need to change something. And so even if it's to stop smoking for a little bit.
Yeah, you have to do some sort of change. I'm going to try to do a lot of changes all at once. We'll see. It usually doesn't work. Yeah. But we'll see how it goes. The weed for sure is, just I'm turning it down.
Nice. And yeah, that's respectful, man. That's good stuff. Yeah. So I don't know if we ever answered this question. Where do you plan to go with it? With the brand?
Creamy?
Yeah.
I mean, so next semester I'm going to try to focus on, there's a specific job I'm thinking about that I want to do. I'm still formulating it. And then we're also doing a collaboration with my friend Ethan's brand, Ramble, after this drop that we're doing right now.
Nice. Do you want to plug your drop at all?
Yeah, I mean, we're dropping our fall-winter collection on December 9th. So you should check it out. I'm biased, but I'm really happy with it. It looks, in my opinion, very cohesive.
That's interesting. What's the Instagram, by the way?
It is creamy.studios.
Cool.
So check it out.
Cool. Yeah, dude. Trying to plug it a little bit. I do want to end this with, a little pitch for you.
Okay.
A little idea we got going on.
All
so
right.
Working as a bartender, I always put it like a towel in my little belt loop right here, and working around it, dude. Like it's so convenient. You just like wipe your hands, get a little wet, get a little dirty. Wipe your hands on it.
And that's just like there for.
It's just there for.
Just for that purpose.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. It's mostly for that because you do get your hands wet a lot, or you get a little bit of food on it. You need to just wipe off real quickly.
Yeah.
And you always consistently wash your hands, and like especially as a bartender, you're dipping the glasses in the soap and sanitizer. But also, if I take a sip and like it runs down my, wipe it off a little bit from my face.
It's a towel.
Yeah, it's just like a dish towel kind of thing.
Okay.
And it's dry, but and then you wipe it off your face and everything, and then you also, if there's a spill ever, you're just like, "Pah, got you, man!" Like right then and there. I really wish I could just go my day-to-day life wearing that towel.
Wearing a towel.
Yeah, man.
I mean, that's not a bad idea.
Style-wise, get a denim towel.
I mean, wow. And if you had like a little carabiner on it that you could do it clip it to your belt.
Oh,
Stop.
yeah.
I'm gonna get
one button to just button it on to the belt loop, dude.
I'm gonna get turned on.
Ooh.
That's sweet.
Ooh.
That's a good idea.
I wasn't expecting it to actually be.
And I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, I don't know if I would catch on. You sold me. I would buy one.
Oh, hell yeah, man. All right, so...
Especially if it was like a cool brand.
Yeah, that's coming up 12/9.
All right. Yeah, maybe one day.
maybe one day. All right, man. I appreciate you coming out again.
Yeah, of course.
It's always a good time.
I don't know if you guys know what good shit is, but that was good shit. All of my episodes, perfect. Good shit. Not true. But, thanks for listening. I love you. Amen. Okay, bye.